Evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. I checked, and it is Paladin time.
Will fight with honor.
My last Paladin run didn't really go that well, to say the least. This is a very fun class, and apparently it does very well in Arena, but I haven't quite been able to be consistent with it. Holy Wrath is one of those things where like people keep playing it against me, and they keep being lucky, but I also have had people play it against me, and they've been terribly unlucky. It's like a Hammer of Wrath, basically, but you're paying an extra mana for the damage to be varying. So, I'm just going to take the Wild Pyromancer. This is a good combo with Equality, which is a rare, so I'm not necessarily going to see it, but if I do see Equality, Equality sets all creatures' health to 1, and then after it resolves, the Wild Pyromancer deals a damage to all minions, clearing out the board. So, as a Pyromancer and having trouble, dealing with, big stuff, or a big board full of your opponent's stuff, let me turn the volume down. It's nice to, increase your odds of getting some outs. Here I'm going to grab Lord of the Arena, which is crazy, because old Boris would have taken Loot Hoarder, no question here. But I'm going to take the Lord, because I find that having big stuff is nice, and the taunt can sometimes be quite useful. Okay, I'm not taking Mad Bomber anymore. I've always hated this monkey, so we'll take a Stormpike Commando, though I'm not super thrilled about it. Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I haven't seen this in a while. Thank God it's here in this pack of garbage. The Flesh-Eating Ghoul is amazing, especially if you already have your little 1/1s, and then you can kill stuff with them, and then the Flesh-Eating Ghoul grows. I'm sad to pass on a Dark Iron Dwarf. It's so amazing for Paladins, because you can buff your minions, but I find that Hammer of Wrath is just more consistent, so I'm going to take it. Frostwolf Warlord, nice and large. That's a great pickup. Ooh, tough call here. I could take the Ooze for an out against weapons, but you know what? I'm going to take Justice here. This reduces the pressure, so later in the draft, I don't feel like I have to take big cards. I've already got kind of my quota for big stuff all filled up, and I find that I just really like having this in my deck. It's a nice out against dire times. These are a Premier 3-drop and a Premier 4-drop. We'll take the 4-drop here. I think the Chillwind Yeti is just amazingly good. Noble Sacrifice is definitely playable. Blessing of Wisdom, definitely playable, but I'm going to take another Ghoul because it's a really good 3-drop. Okay, we got it! So these are okay, but I'm going to take the Equality, so now I have an out to clear the board if I need to. Raid Leader is very good for Paladins, or, well, not very good, but he's better than average because of your 1/1s on the field. But I'm going to take a Silence. I find that in decks when I don't have a Silence, it's kind of annoying. Shield Master, I will spike 4 mana a little bit here to take him over the Acolyte of Pain. Here we could take the Harvest Golem, that sounds totally fine. Oh no, we got a Trash Pack. Well, I think I'll take the Deckhand. Obviously he has an ability, the Murloc doesn't. If I pick up a True Silver Champion, I will of course play it, and this guy could be a charger. The Magma Rager is just utter garbage. Oh dear. So the Demolisher, here's my thing. I hate that card, I just hate it. I really do. I think it's terrible. But if you can play it on an empty board and your opponent can't get rid of it, it is a real irritation for him. This is an actual 3-drop. Now the Arcane Golem is a late game removal / finisher. I will take it over the Demolisher. Well, oh my gosh. This is a pick I've never had to make before. Sea Giant versus Big Game Hunter. As we learned in a recent arena, the Big Game Hunter is actually kind of amazing. But the Sea Giant is very playable, especially for Paladins who can put their own minions on the board. I'm going to take it. I think I'd rather have the Giant. I still have space in the upper end of my curve here, just 4 cards at 5 mana or more. Sea Giant's just so easily to... not easily, but he's much easier to play for Paladins than for others, and he's huge. I'd rather have my own huge guy than maybe kill one of my opponents. This is terrible. This is terrible. Man, I hate taking mediocre 4-drops, because Paladins have so many good 4-mana cards. I hate having a card that is mediocre at 4 mana. But this is just, this is pretty much just unplayable. I mean, yes, the dream is your opponent plays, a Boulder Fist Ogre. It repents down to 1 health and one of your minions finishes it off. But in reality, that just never happens. So do I put in a 4-mana card that I really am unhappy with, or do I play something crappy and just accept the fact that it's just 1 mana and I can clear it out of my hand and maybe, do something with it? Nope, I'm going to take the crappy card. At least it is a 4/4 for 4. And you know what? Whatever. Blessing of Kings is great. We'll take it. So I could take another Chillwind Yeti, which is obviously great. At 3 mana, I have 3 creatures that are playable. At 4 mana, how many of these are actually creatures? 1, 2, 3. This is Silence. We have 3 at both levels, and the Chillwind Yeti's better, so I'll take the Chillwind Yeti. Alright, the Defender of Argus is amazing, but the Argent Commander is as well, so I'm going to take him. Hammer of Wrath number 2, really spiking the 4 mana. Is that worth it? Over a Noble Sacrifice? Yeah, I think so. I'll take it. Humility is nice, for sure. But I'm actually going to take the Dark Scale Healer. I'm growing to respect that card more and more. And let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3 at 5, 4, 5, count to 6, 7, 8. How am I counting? 7, sorry. 7 total big cards. I don't need a Lord. We'll take another Flesh-Eating Ghoul, so we have a lot of those now. And this is actually great. Blessing of Wisdom is nifty, but we'll just take a good 3-drop. Ah, Argent Protector. Man, that's what I've needed in my life. Now, I don't have any 2-drops, except for the Wild Pyromancer. The Wild Argent Protector doesn't really count. We'll take Acolyte for some card draw. That's nice. Humility. Man, do I take this? It isn't out against big things. I don't have any Kodos or anything to combo with it. I need 2-drops. I'm just going to take this because it's a 2-drop. I only have the Wild Pyromancer that's really playable on turn 2. Okay, this is the only playable card here, so we'll just take it. Okay, the Rocketeer is playable, but it's not good. Oh, man, what is this? Ah, Jesus Christ. This is terrible. Am I going to take another... Oh, this actually has a decent battle cry. We'll take it. Yeah, I think that's more playable than Repentance. Ah, Stampeding Kodo. Well, now I wish I had taken those Humilities, because Stampeding Kodo plus Humility is a great combo. You lower minions' attack to 1, then you play Stampeding Kodo, and it dies. The thing is, I've noticed actually attack reduction effects are extremely rare. I believe Paladins actually have the only cards in the game that can lower a minion's attack, which you'll find is something that you wish there was more of when you play with Stampeding Kodos. So this deck turned out to be okay. It turned out like a lot of my Paladin decks do, where there's this big spike at 3 mana and 4 mana. But there's a pretty beefy late game here as well. So basically I've got slow starts. I'm going to have to be relying on my recruits in a lot of games, which sometimes is not adequate. But other than that, if I don't, you know, get blown out, I'll think I'll be fine. So I'm keeping Hammer of Wrath, which I don't normally like to do, because it's an expensive removal card. The reason is against mages, there's some really key things I will want to kill. In particular, Mana Worms and Sorcerer's Apprentices. This is definitely a slow start. Mage's hero ability counters my recruit generation ability, which is kind of unfortunate. But I can like play this on turn 2, then she can use turn 3 to kill it and then do nothing, which I'm fine with, and I can play the Golem, and the Golem's pretty nice against mages. It pops back after a Frostbolt, so they have to spend an extra mana to get it back. Alright, she has nothing, which is good for me. Do I coin out the Harvest Golem is the question. Then next turn I'm doing nothing? No, let's make a recruit. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm saying, well, my start sucks, so if you want to waste 2/3 of your turn just to kill my recruit, then that's great. Because that means you didn't do anything better. Great, so she does it. So both of us think we have the better endgame cards, and you know what? She might actually have better ones than I do. Because these are okay, but they're not, like, amazing. Blessing of Kings is dodgy, because you think, well, the Golem comes back if the Blessing of Kings gets killed, but the problem is that Polymorph will take care of business. Okay, this is actually fine, though. So, Blessing of Kings, that's just enough to kill the Mighty Water Elemental. And now she can kill this in a number of ways, Frostbolt plus hero ability, or just a Fireball or a Polymorph. But what's interesting is if she uses Fireball or Polymorph, the damaged Golem will stick around. Okay. Well, this is where I'm really happy that I have Hammer of Wrath. I know it's a card that I've hated on in the past, but it's really good here. I can just kill that thing, draw a card, and keep swinging. Ooh, that's also really good. Oh, boy. Do I play this instead? Do I play them both? With a coin? I actually have a lot of options here. I mean, man, I have a bunch of options. Number 1, Hammer of Wrath, draw a card. Swing. Number 2, Hammer of Wrath, and put Divine Shield on this. On swing. Number 3, Divine Shield, use that to kill the Worgen. And then I still have actually 3 mana left, so I can play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, start to grow that. Number 4, I could heal this with my Darkscale Healer, and then it'll just kill the Worgen. Number 4 or 5, or I can do Sen'jin Shieldmaster, or I can do Lord of the Arena with the coin. Boy. Man, what is actually the best move here? I don't even know. I think I'll put some creatures on the board. So we'll do this. Not on my watch. And I am going to use the coin to get a Hammer of Wrath out here. Oh, I should have done that first. Ah, jeez, I should always draw cards first. It's so hard to remember that. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I'm gambling if my opponent had a Polymorph, she'd have already used it last turn. Since she didn't, I'm gambling if she doesn't have it. But if she does have it, then of course I will have wasted the Divine Shield and the Blessing of Kings. Okay, so if she didn't have the Polymorph, she just has a Frostbolt. Ah, let's see. Well, she spent pretty much her whole turn doing all that stuff. and doesn't have a good follow-up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sea Giant is not quite playable yet. Next turn is Flame Strike time, but actually all these creatures survive Flame Strike, which is pretty much the boss hoss. Okay, so we'll play this. I don't need the heal just yet, and make a recruit. So Flame Strike will kill the recruit, the golem, and the 2/2. It'll kill 3 of my things, but she won't have enough mana left to finish this off. And then I'll be able to play Darkscale Healer, heal it back up, and I'll still be in good shape. So I guess I ended up coming out ahead. My opponent was just a little bit too slow. Oh, she's playing this on turn 7? Yikes. Alright, and buffing on her turn. Man, signs of desperation abound. Okay, well, we have lots of options here. I could actually play the Sea Giant. Jesus. Not enough to Sea Giant and Hammer of Wrath, though. But I can Sea Giant and Abusive Sergeant, trade the 1/1 in for this 3/3. Wow. And still play a Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Then I'm a little overextending a little bit there if I play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, I think. Although if she spends her whole turn to Flame Strike and I have a Sea Giant, yeah, we'll do this. We're going to play this. Buff that guy. I think, can I actually play the Darkscale Healer and this thing? No, I'll be 1 mana short. Nuts. Well, what we'll do then is we'll play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. And can I actually make a recruit? Yeah, I can make a oh no, I will run out of space. No, I won't, because this guy's going to die. Haha. I'll make a recruit. This drops down to 1. Oh no, I messed up! Oh, geez, I'm out of space. And to kill stuff, I have to reduce the number of creatures on the board. Oh, shoot, I just screwed up. I'm sorry, folks. I should have just made this giant and not dicked around. I could have had a Sea Giant on the board here. Sorry, I thought that... I got confused. It's hard to play Hearthstone without screwing up. I got confused, because basically I thought, well, it's going to cost 1 mana, but I have no space, but I'm going to clear space out. But then by clearing space out, I cause my creature to die, which of course is a problem. She's a Frostbolt from my Ghoul, which is very, very sad. And this actually is an incredibly good drop here, because it means that this Abomination is going to be good. It's going to kill all my stuff, basically. Well, the good news is it kills her stuff, too. Do I play the Frostwolf Warlord? It'll get damaged. I think we've been through this before. I think it's worth it just to play the Frostwolf Warlord here. So do I make another thing? I can play this and a Frostwolf Warlord. I want to do this first. Yeah, I'm going to play this. It's going to get damaged, but I'm fine with that. These are so gigantic. I don't care that they get damaged. Do this, that. Dies. So my guys will both survive a Flame Strike. And I mean, this is pretty serious. So notice this could have been, what could that have been? It could have been some other good epic. It could have been a big game hunter. I mean, clearly that was way better here to have the Sea Giant. Frostbolt? It doesn't kill it, it just freezes it. Fair enough. And a Fireball for that. Well, touche, sir. If I draw my Silence, I can silence the freeze off of this and swing for 8. My opponent really accomplished nothing there. She's just biding her time. Okay, so we'll do the Darkscale Healer. Heal on up. We'll make this.
Reporting for duty.
And I don't want to play this. I'd actually like to keep this in my hand. In case my opponent plays a 4 toughness creature, I want to play this and Hammer of Wrath and deal 4 damage. Okay, that doesn't do anything. That does something. Bah. And she's working down my giant. Oh my god, I still can't actually attack with this giant, because this stuff's in the way. Oh my lord. This is ridiculous. Silence. Can I win with a Silence? 8, not, yeah, I can win, so let's just win. Actually, this is the way to do it. A Hammer of Wrath to kill that. The taunts have been cleared out. Now, swing for the kill. Well, that was a very resounding victory against a mage. Not only am I happy to beat mages, but that was crushing. I mean, really, I don't think there was there a single point anywhere in the game where my opponent could have, like, you know, had the right card and won? I don't think so. I don't think there was a single, you know what, if she had like a turn 1 play and a turn 2 play, like if she had a really aggressive start, then she would have won. But once we got like into turn 3, I remember saying that I thought, you know, my cards weren't that great, but they turned out to be really great. And I just steamrolled my opponents. That feels good. That feels good. Nanner, 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 net. And I knew that I would. Nanner, 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 net. Anyway, let's go ahead and into our second game. Another mage. I feel like karma's punishing me. I'm gloating about how I crushed a mage. It's like, oh yeah, you're crushing a mage, you're doing good against mages, why don't you just play another mage? Okay, let's get rid of this. This, we're gonna throw away. I mean, I might regret it later, but I'd actually rather have some real cards here, and I don't. Well, I do. I can play, I guess, the Kobold Geomancer on turn 2, and then the Coin the Yeti on turn 3. Now, against any other class besides mage, Well, any class besides Mage, Rogue, and Druid. I would actually make a 1-1 on turn 2 because the extra power and health isn't that relevant, and I want to keep this around in case of, you know, needing to drop it and a Hammer of Wrath in the same turn. But because I'm up against mages, it's important to get that in there. Now this might change my thinking. Oh god. This Mana Worm is really good. Because, you know, even if she doesn't buff it, it's still going to deal 1 damage to my Geomancer, live to tell about it, and then the hero ability will finish me off, which is quite sad. Boy. This is tricky. I'm starting out behind. I have really good 4-drops coming out on turn 3 and turn 4, but this one moment here, I'd say that I'm behind. Okay, I'm going to do this. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I would like her to attack into the Geomancer and use the hero ability to finish it off. I want her to do that. If I just play a Recruit, she can just kill it with the Mana Worm and then not have to use her hero ability. Here, though, she has the ultimate play. She actually gets Mirror Image, which is very irritating, and then she gets to kill my thing off anyway. And still has 2 mana left over to maybe play something else. Balls. Balls, balls, balls. Oh god, if she has fireballs and polymorphs for my really good 4-drops, I'll probably lose this game, because this guy will never have enough creatures on the board to get big, this won't be playable, and then this guy's way too late. Man. You know, I never saw any True Silver Champions or Consecrations in this draft, which is a bit sad. Luckily, she has nothing for 2 mana, which is good, but it's going to be a close one. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and coin for sure. I think I'm going to do the Chillwind Yeti. Now, the Chillwind Yeti's extra power is not relevant here, but there's a couple of reasons for playing it. Basically, number 1, if she plays a 4-power creature for 4 mana, which is possible, or 4 hit point creature for 4 mana, which is possible, I want to be able to kill it later. And then number 2, if she doesn't have a fireball for this, I'd like to keep the taunt around, because the taunt is nice. So, there is this taunt in the way at the moment, sadly, but so I can't, like, kill this just yet. But, hope will spring eternal. Stampeding Kodo will be nice, but not now. Let's play the Senshin. Let's wait. So now if she has like a Fireball or something for this, or like even a Frostbolt will deal 4 damage. Yeah, Frostbolt will kill off either one of my creatures, which would be very sad. Secret. Well, the nice thing about Mage Secrets is that they don't trigger on you attacking your opponent's minions. Although it appears that I'm actually not going to have any minions left to attack with after this turn, because she can kill them both off, and then this guy actually lives. She uses this to kill my Senjin, then uses the Mana Worm to kill the Yeti, and this guy survives by a hair. God damn it! Ah, that sucks. Boy. Well, let's just play a Kodo. If that's a mirror entity, which it is, of course it is, I'll be very sad, but I figure it was better than, I mean, giving this isn't, you don't want to give this to a mage either and have her with +2 spell damage, that sucks too. Ah, damn it, she needed an answer that turn for my 2 really good 4-drops, and she had it. The Arcane Explosion with spell damage was quite good. Actually, she didn't even need the spell damage. Just the fact that it was a spell and buffed the Mana Worm was good. Ah, damn it. She has removal. Well, that's not the worst thing, I suppose. If I drew my Silence, I could silence that and attack, then kill the Mana Worm.
Let the pain
Oh, boy. This thing being at 1 health is a pain on my existence. I can make a Recruit and this, or just this. I think I'm actually going to make 2 things, just to maximize what I have on the board. The problem is that she actually has a lot of damage. She has 7, 9, 10 damage. I'm already down to 8 health against a mage. She just had a quick start with the Mana Worm, the Mirror Image, and I wasn't able to keep up. Just going to get to draw a card. Fine. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I guess that was kind of silly. Drawing another card. Oh man, with no Consecration, I'm screwed. Now, I do have the Equality Pyromancer out, but I mulliganed the Equality, and then I don't have the Pyromancer, so I have to draw them both. And of course she has the Polymorph, because of course she has the Polymorph. Why wouldn't she have the Polymorph? Alright, so she's going to trade her wounded creature for my healthy one, which is fine. And swing. Oh, jeez. Well, I could play Blessing of Kings on the sheep and kill the Kodo, leaving me with 3 mana to play that thing. I could also play this guy. Doesn't leave me with any mana, though. Let's actually go ahead and buff this up. Kill her biggest threat. Play this thing. I can lose at any time, because she is a mage. So, you know, she's got 5 damage on the board, down to 7 health. Actually, Fireball will win the game because it'll buff the Mana Worm, and then she'll just win. Yeah, the fact that I went so low hurts. Now, of course, I could have played Justice, but I feel like it was worth it to run into removal rather than to, rather than to sacrifice the... Oh, Jesus, are you kidding me? God damn it, of all the times that had to happen. That is terrible. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, I say. This guy actually dies to that Blood Knight, and the Blood Knight hitting me for 6. I can't really stop it. Unless I, like, run my sheep in and use Hammer of Wrath, leaving this army of dinks. Oh, no, she can still attack with her dinks. Oh, no! That's bad. Ugh. This game. Honestly. I just got nothing here. Well, I can play this, I suppose. But it's not really going to save me, unfortunately. 9-10, I'm down to 5 health. Yeah. All she needs to do is draw into a Fireball at any point, and it's over. Ah, more freeze. Mages. Such nonsense. I didn't even hit her once. Well. That was humbling. So I crushed the first mage, and the second mage absolutely annihilated me. So yeah, it was actually the same thing that the first mage could have done to win. I said that if the first mage had a really quick start, she could have beaten me. And this mage had the quick start, and she did beat me. So that's life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that more games are to come without mages doing stupid things. And I'll see you then. Take care.